I'd like to call to order the Park and Rec Commission regular meeting of September 29th, 2022. We definitely do have a quorum. And before we do the pledge, I'd just like to say tonight that if everybody do a quick prayer for the people in Florida tonight, somewhere along the line, because they're struggling, okay? So think about them, and that's what we're all about in America, okay? Pledge allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and with liberty and justice for all. All right, next on the agenda is approval of the minutes from August 18th.
Motion to approve. Second.
We have a motion and a second. And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Unfinished business is nothing, right, Mike?
Correct.
Okay, new business. Resolution authorizing the transfer of funds, Park Trust, Park impact fees.
And I will take that one. This evening, our department is requesting to transfer $260,000 from the Park Trust Park Impact Fees account to an expense account to be used for the construction of the Phase 4 Riverwalk. These funds will be used for the development of the dam island, installation of a new electric service, new lighting along there, railings, the seating areas, river access, and riprap. The construction cost for Phase 4 development is $890,000. We are using some TIF money and hopefully this park impact fees funds to take care of that phase of the construction. The funding source here is $260,000 from impact, $475,000 from TID, and then $155,000 from the neighborhood investment grant. So again, a little bit of a mixture there. But it all works out very well. So as of June of 2022, we did have $586,000 in the Park Trust Park Impact Fees Fund. So,
Move to approve. Second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, sculpture donation. I think that's Mike again, the swimmer.
yes, swimmer. I did find out that it's actually officially Swimmer Girl is the official title. The sculpture is Dean Meeker. Dean originated in Northern Illinois, and 50, 60 years ago, Dean moved to the Madison area. He was a professor in Madison, and Dean created the Swimmer Girl along the way. The West Bend Friends of Sculpture would like to present this as a donation to the city of West Bend. The proposed location would be northwest of the new beach house. We got that one little, it's like a mulch island there right now. That's where it would be placed. The Friends of Sculpture would be responsible for installation costs, and they would also request that they would have first right of refusal if at any point in time in the future the city determined we didn't want this piece anymore, that they would have first right to reclaim this item. So that's what I have.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Okay, third, special event.
Thank you. I will be taking this for Jackie this evening. She did mention that this one kind of came up, I'll say almost last minute. Just something a group wanted to get together for yet this year. So the National Alliance of Mental Health of Washington County, in cooperation with the West Bend Police Department, is requesting approval to hold an afternoon awareness and concert fundraiser in Regner Park this Saturday, October 1st. The event will include food trucks, a children's entertainment area, and music. All event requirements, such as permits and insurance, have all been fulfilled. Thank you.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Okay, program fees. I think Ryan?
Yes. All right. So on page 10 of the packet that you guys have kind of has the proposed recreational program fees for the winter and spring of 2023, starting top down. archery, high school basketball league, gymnastics at both levels, learn and play program, little hitters baseball spring training, ice skating at Regner, spring soccer, and women's health and fitness classes all have no changes. Swim lessons, we are proposing to bump that to 40 for residents and 60 to non-residents to kind of offset the increased wages that we're going to be paying the lifeguards. And I kind of did some research on the competition that we'd be facing for swimming lessons, and we would still be beneath the cost that our competitors are charging. So I feel pretty confident with those prices. Another thing that Carolyn had mentioned is we did get approval from Badger Middle School to offer a track and field program, so we will be starting that in the spring. The proposed prices for that are 30 resident and 45 non-resident. Moving down to the contracted programs, ballroom dance, judo for both youth and adult, and all of our contracted music programs at the West Bend Music Academy, no change there. And then similar to what we had done in the fall for our Red Cross babysitting trainee courses, we had a $5 increase just because that was what most of our competitors were at, was the $104 level as well. And I'll cover Courtney's programs at LLC, no changes in the Winter Fun Day and no change in the Winter Wonders Luminary Walk.
Move to approve.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. So donations, I don't know who's all going to take care of that.
I have the first one. So we have the Early Risers Kiwanis Club of West Bend, who donated $5,000 towards the Library Recreation Center. So thank you to Mike and all of the Kiwanis for that. And then I also have the 1840 Brewing Company, which donated $182 to the Rec Division, specifically for the Dirty Ninja Mud Run for kids. So thank you to 1840 Brewing Company.
I have one from the West Bend Disc Golf Club, $150 monetary value to be used at the disc golf course. Thank you to Josh Ham and that group. I have another one for various citizens. Includes AES companies, local Arby's restaurant, roundup fundraiser of $1,370. Tom Limbach, $800, and fence pickets, $200, which is to be used towards the All Abilities Playgrounds for a total of $2,370. So thank you to all those groups. And the last one I have is from the Gears Group, Craig. Shipping container, $4,075 that was donated and installed out at Glacier Blue Hills for storage of their snow dog and their tools to help us with that property.
Cool.
So thank you to Craig and his group.
As always, thanks everybody for the donations, from the city and everybody in town. Appreciate it. Do we have a motion?
Move to accept.
We got a motion second. Any more discussion?
I just have a question. Do we know where they're at with their fundraising for the All Abilities Playground? Are they like halfway there, or any idea?
To be quite honest with you, Mike, we haven't been able to support them very much with the fundraising effort. Our objective was to get through the beach house project. I'm in the process again of kind of updating our list of projects that we're still fundraising for. We have things out there like lights for Carl Cuss Field, other development items at Carl Cuss Field, even our development out at Glacier Blue Hills, things like that. The Thunder Baseball Group, Dan and I met with them. They're doing a small fundraiser for batting tunnels over at the Riverside Ball Diamond. So we have quite a few projects out there. For the All Abilities Playground, we'd have to revisit that again with those folks and really put a marketing campaign together, fundraising campaign, goals and objectives, naming rights, things like that. So I have not spent very much time, actually very little time, supporting those fundraising efforts as of yet. So
Thanks.
the exact dollar amount, I don't know what it is, but it's not very
It's
substantial
going
at
to be
this
a while
point.
yet.
What's
sure.
that?
I'm sure it's going to be a while yet.
Yep, yes, so.
Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Now reports. Chairman, the only thing I want to say is I want to introduce Rick Fox. You're going to tell us a little bit about yourself. He's taken Cindy's job, a new project, a parks project manager, whatever. So if you want to tell a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm excited to be here. I come to Wisconsin from Ames, Iowa. I was a landscape architect and project manager for Iowa State University for about 16 years. Also spent another 16 years in Ames working for a private landscape contractor, managing commercial contracts. So I've got a skill set that when I saw this job posting, knew it was ideally suited for my interests and experience. So I'm glad Mike felt the same. Glad to be here.
Welcome aboard.
Yep, great to have you. So Mike's already got him on jobs already, so
Yeah.
he's not gonna sit in his chair for a while, is he, Mike?
No. Rick's got plenty to do. But he's looking forward to it.
Cool, very cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any questions for Rick at all? Okay, thank you. Secretary, Mike Weston.
Just say the luminary walk, you already talked about that a little bit, is on the 22nd of October. If you've never been to one of those, it's really a lot of fun. And there's a band this year in the barn.
Yep, they're expanding it, COVID's over, so they're gonna have a small band in the barn, plus some real light concessions, a bonfire pits again, things like that, so.
It's a nice free event.
Yep, if we have good weather, we'll be north of 1,000, maybe 1,500 people,
Yeah,
so.
that's all I got.
Okay, thanks, Mike. Conservation Supervisor Courtney, she had sent an email, or Mike sent an email out, so all you gotta do is go online, it's what she's doing down there, so all good to go. You handle Jackie, or you taking Jackie?
Actually, I just wanted to touch on a couple of quick items. For events, last Friday was our last beer garden over at Riverside Park. Again, a very successful evening. What do we have, 4 of those over there this summer, Dan, right?
Once a month.
And they've all been really very successful. If you haven't attended, it's a different venue. It's kind of nice. It's on grass. It's not the asphalt, things like that. It's a really nice, relaxed atmosphere. You can come have a beer, hang out, eat some food, and spend some time with friends. It's been really very successful. Again, we did that with those beer garden dates with 1840. And on the 8th of October, 1840 is having their unveiling of their IPA and their little party in Regner Park. That is definitely open to the public. So, if you're around, go visit those folks. It's a good group of people, lots of good high energy, things like that. So, and Enchantment in the Park is already starting set up. So the special events, so.
All right, thank you. Rec Supervisor Ryan, anything going on?
Yeah, so our fall activities are all underway. So archery, baseball, soccer, flag football, gymnastics, and dance have all started. So kind of our in-house programs. Everything's off to a good start there. Flag football, 2 weeks left, and we're about halfway through archery, baseball, and soccer as well. Gymnastics and dance are just kind of getting started, and those carry through to the February, March time of the year. Judo, music classes, and our first babysitter training all went well, so kind of our contracted programs repeat things that we had done in the past. So no issues there, off to a good start. Women's health and fitness and the dance classes down in the LRC, everything is going great down there. Women's Volleyball League, so currently for that we have 10 teams registered. I'm hoping to get a few more prior to that beginning in early November. I would say 12 to 14 would be pretty ideal. So we're moving that back to UW, Milwaukee, Washington County from the Boys and Girls Club this year, so they can accommodate 2 courts going at the same time instead of 1. So hopefully in the next month or so, like I mentioned, we can get a few more teams to sign up for that. Lifeguarding update for Regner. So Mike and I started a marketing campaign with the help of the communications department. So to kind of break that down for you all, we are primarily targeting 15 to 24-year-olds through YouTube and Instagram ads. We're doing a paid campaign, so we allocated the communications department $500 to spend through October 21st for that. So the way it works is there's kind of they take the 500 and they break it down day by day. So let's say it was $7 a day for the 20 or however long it was running. So it drills down daily by the amount that we set. Unfortunately, on Facebook, we are unable to target by those demographics just because of the policies that they have when it relates to employment, which is something that I didn't know, but Jacob in the communications department made that pretty clear to us. As far as the numbers of our campaign so far, the city website has nearly 1,000 views of the lifeguarding application, which of course have all probably been directed there from the advertising efforts. So that's a pretty great number to hear. All of the ads, so YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, they've been viewed a combined 40,000 times by about 20,000 people. So on average, the 20,000 people have seen an ad once or twice. So far, we've spent about $150 out of the $500 budget. So again, we have about 3 weeks and some change left until it is ending on October 21st. And the results of this campaign, so currently we have 10 applicants and an additional who was already a lifeguard who I hired in yesterday. So of those 10 applicants, 8 of them have committed to the lifeguarding course that I'm going to be offering in November. So I would hope to have, obviously I would want 100%, but I think realistically, if I offered the course to 10, I would hope for 9 to pass. It takes a lot of physical and mental capability for those 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds to be able to pass that. So ideally 100%, but realistically shooting for 9. So that's kind of what's going on with Regner and the efforts to getting that open next year. And starting to work on the activity guide for the entire Parks and Recreation and Forestry Department for winter and spring. As far as my role goes, starting to think about the winter plans and programs and get those all kind of onto paper and carry them out in the next month or two. So that is all I have.
Although you're targeting that age group, you'll still take people that are 30 and 40 if they can pass, right?
Yes. One thing I forgot to mention, so all of the ads that are viewed on Facebook, because we can't target the certain demographics by that, there's no age bias there. So anyone could see that on Facebook. So yes.
63 also?
Yeah, I've heard. I'm waiting on an applicant by Mike Weston, but I'm still waiting.
Well, Ryan and Mike, it sounds like things are going forward. So it sounds real positive. Let's put it that way. So I think everybody should be happy.
I heard that you're in the Leadership Greater West Bend class?
I am. We had our retreat last week on Thursday and Friday. So we were at Moraine Park Technical College Thursday and then the YMCA on Friday. So got to meet all of my comrades for that, and
I'm an
excited.
alumni, so I'm glad to hear that you're in there.
Fun stuff.
Well, good stuff. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ryan. Park and Forestry Superintendent Dan.
Quite a bit of stuff going on within. I don't think I've came and talked to any of you since the August tour, so I'm going to just hit on some high points. We just finished up stump grinding for the fall. We took away about 125 stumps. We did get the donation. I heard, well, I announced it, so I heard it earlier from Josh with the disc golf with some money, but he did have somebody within their group that was able to come up with new T signs. So we've been installing all new T signs on the whole course, which should be done tomorrow. So that was another donation. Hopefully within the next month, we're going to take delivery of our new bucket or chipper truck. That is was ordered last June. So
That's the norm.
yeah. We did finally get the outdoor shower for in front of the beach house. That's up and running. We worked with Craig and put in a pad for him to put that container on out at Glacier Blue Hills. Got that done. And Sunday was a big night for us, some of us. Storm damage. Biggest one was on the corner of 7th and Maple. Probably about a 50-inch plus Norway maple. Ripped the whole terrace up and fell onto the house. Staff did an absolutely amazing job getting it off without causing very little extra damage. We worked with Doug. I gave Doug a call from DPW. We got 2 of his big loaders over there, and we were able to pull the tree back up and back out into the road. So that was about, I think when I left the site, the tree had hit the ground. It was about 11:15. The guys worked till about 1 a.m. And then all the next day too. So we found a couple more that were on houses, et cetera. So, yeah, right now, next week's plan is to start to shoot at a big project on a big trail that we're gonna be doing at LLC. So, that's what we got.
Great. Thanks for all the work you do, Dan. Any questions for him? Okay. Director, Mike Yentz.
All right, I'm going to start with projects, and I'm going to defer to Rick first, so we can give a little update for some of the projects he started on.
Well, given that this is my 9th day on the job, haven't gotten too far down the list just yet, but I have focused time on one of the priorities, the 2023 tree surety contract. Dan's been a real help to me to get my arms around the scope of that project, but we hope to have it out to bid by mid-October, or receive bids by mid-October, get a contractor on board for spring plantings. Another project, the Bicentennial Park Playground. We're getting quotes from a couple of playground suppliers to replace the old worn-out sets that are there. One third project that was initiated to me just yesterday was the Ridge Run cabin renovation, I think White family cabin. So that'll be coming up on my list here to start getting quotes for some repairs and restoration. That's about all I have right now.
Good.
Another project update would be the Riverwalk. Phase 4 of the Riverwalk, so that's the West Bend Company Dam going north to Main Street. Phase 4, the deadline is October 1, so Saturday. We are pretty much ready to open the walk itself. We may keep it closed. We're trying to be good neighbors with HKS Development. They're doing some concrete work out by the walk and things like that. It might just be easier for us to keep it closed for another couple of days. We'll see once. It'll depend on what they got done today and tomorrow. So that section of walk is ready to open. The dam area we're going to keep closed. We're still waiting for railings for out there. Again, just like a lot of things these days. The lights we ordered, they should be in April. The railings, they're building those railings. So as we know with construction materials, things like that these days, it's just taking a little bit longer. But I'm really happy we're to the point we're at. We're waiting for lights and railings. Everything else is done. I think we're doing pretty good. So that's phase 4. Phase 2, which is right downtown, from Veterans Avenue north to that north pedestrian bridge. You go through there, you can see Yankee General Contractors are really pounding out that river wall last couple of days. They are on schedule. Again, for this fall, they should get the wall done. Some other work behind the wall over the winter time. That covered alley, they're going to get all that work done, get that opened up. And then spring, they got a lot of flat work to do. So, but overall, we've been very fortunate with the weather. And even for them, the Riverwall block and all that and everything else, when did I place that PO, Carolyn? That was months ago, to get our contractor, our ledge views where we're getting it from out of Fond du Lac. They started making that before the orders were being placed because it's a lot of block. So, but everything's moving along nicely. So, thank you.
Any other questions for Mike at all? Is there anything else for the good of the Park and Rec Commission tonight? If not, meeting adjourned.